inner dialogue is sabotaging the results you're getting in your life? Are you one of these people that you maybe want to reduce in weight, and yet you'll look in the mirror and you'll say, I'm bigger than ever? Or maybe you have this dream vacation, and then you'll turn around and look in your wallet or your bank account and say, I can't afford to go. Or maybe you're really wanting to have that intimate relationship, and you're like, all the good ones are taken, so there's no use. Well, if that's you, well, I'm here to tell you that the results you're getting are because of what you're saying and thinking and how you're feeling about the situation. The good news is it can be turned around, and there can be a shift, and you can start changing the way you're thinking, changing the way you're using your self-talk, and you can start attracting things into your life and just like, yes, you'll be so happy. Speaking of happy, I am really, really happy because last week I was away. Many of you know I got so many comments and emails and wonder if I was okay, and yeah, I'm okay. We're going to talk about this a little bit later in the show, and it's about having a breaking point. But with every breaking point, there's a turning point, and so we're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. And I was at the breaking point last week, so yeah. So you're watching episode 28 right now of the Hangout with Penny show. It's a weekly show. Every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. If you want to watch the show live, I can send you the link prior. So just go to my website here, hangoutwithpenny.com. You can always watch live right from my website. And there's a place there that you can subscribe where I will send you the live link. And however, if you're busy, I can then send you the recording. Many people love watching the recording afterwards, and then some people make a marathon out of it because every episode's on that on my website, so you can check it all out. So hang out with Penny every Friday night. Thank you. I also have a G+ community on Google+. So if you want to go on, join there. And actually, I was just talking about the breaking point to the turning point. When I was having the breaking point and I just realized that it was at a turning point for me, I actually recorded myself and I posted the recording into the community, and I've had a lot of good responses to that. So that's over there for you. There's going to be a lot more. I'm going to begin to do little training videos and so forth about the law of attraction and how to start creating some wonderful things in your life. So that's going to be in my community. I have a wonderful guest, a surprise guest, and I'll get to that in just a moment. So in the meantime, I love for you, when you watch the show, so many of you comment and you ask questions, and I love it because then I can share it on the show. And so thank you to all my friends for your comments. So we're just going to take a minute. I'm going to read a few. So Linda is from AZ Point, or AZ in Canada, very loyal watcher, and she said this was on episode 27, where it was part 2 actually with the expert animal communicator CJ Gilbert. Oh, you got to go check. If you love animals, you got to go check that show out. And I think it was 25 and 27. So she says, thank you both for a great show. Animals are perfect to practice LOA with, as they will always match your vibration without any subconscious stuff that gets in the way, like us humans. Yeah, that's so true. Romy Carlin, she said, question to CJ. And so CJ answered the question after we were done airing, so I'll read that answer to this question. She said, CJ, I have a question. My friend, he said his cat sometimes misbehaves. How can we communicate best with him? And so CJ answered by saying, Romy, when your pet is misbehaving, you want to look at what your story is and what you're saying about the cats. Why do you believe they're misbehaving? Next, ask yourself, what do I want instead? Tell this new story to the cat's friend to the cat and friend, etc. You are then creating new results. Lots can happen, which is true. It's just like it's our self-sabotage that we say things to ourselves just the same as our pets. We're sabotaging the results that we're receiving from our pets by the words that we're saying. Karen Riggio, she says, thank you both so much. The show is completely awesome. What a reminder about LOA and how it shows up everywhere. This week, my dog was so excited when she heard CJ and then settled down and just sat on the couch very relaxed, like she was taking in all the stuff that was shared. CJ, it's clear you are a gifted healer of animals and people. Both you and Penny are so authentic and generous. Thanks so much. The animals, people were leaving comments saying that the animals sensed the energy of CJ. And so that was amazing. So I'm just going to do a couple more. Cindy Paul. This goes back to episode 3, and I think my guest, my surprise guest that's on tonight, I think she was on that show, and it was about online dating, creating an online dating profile. And so she says, cheers, raising some Merlot to you and all the lovely ladies and handsome man on this oh-so-funny show. Thanks for the good laughs, and it was really, really good, so go check that out. And I also was given a comment from John Cokes, and he says, thank you, Penny. I often think of your personal story, plus your mother's condition, and how you were transformed and evolved into an amazing woman who embodies the law of attraction. I love the way you assist Michael in all his shows and have such an amazing record of what he talks about and the certain subjects that come up in his episodes. Kudos. Thank you. And most of all, Penny, we all love your smiles and laugh. Oh my gosh, I just love that. So Cindy Paul, I'm going to say cheers because one of the things I love to do on my Hangout show, and if you've been watching me for the past 27 episodes, you know that one of my favorite things is to get a wine that goes along with the show. Well, today I thought, what am I going to get for a wine for self-sabotaging, self-talk? What am I going to find? So I'm walking around the store, and the gentleman there says to me, can I help you? And I said, oh, I'm just looking for labels. He said, what kind of labels? I said, oh, I don't know, I'm looking for a special wine. And I said, I told him a little bit. And he said, well, if you're looking for taste, I have a really good one that I really love. And he said, it's a one-of-a-kind, unique bottle of wine, and it's from California. And I said, perfect, because my viewers are all one-of-a-kind, and they're all unique. So it goes perfect. So I'm going to cheers to all of us that are all one-of-a-kind and unique. So cheers to episode 28. I feel like I've been talking forever already. Okay, so I'm going to bring out my surprise guest because I thought I was going solo tonight. But today, I get this gift in the mail. I get this package in the mail. I'm like, I opened it up. Uber appreciative. And in it is this wonderful, wonderful note. And the last is, thank you for being always there for me. You've done more than you'll ever know. Love, Cindy. And there's a beautiful necklace, live, love, laugh. I didn't put it on because you could see it better if I showed. So I called Cindy to thank her very much for this wonderful gift. And guess what? She's here with me tonight. Cindy, come on out, say hi to people, let them know who you are and what you do. And I'm so excited you're here.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here with you, Penny, and I'm excited to be with all your viewers, all our friends. And my name is Cindy Brett. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I do very similar coaching to what Penny does. I really focus on the law of attraction because it's so important for all of us to understand that it is called the law of attraction because it is definitely a law. And what we know about laws is that they're always working. And I think the law of attraction is so misunderstood, in that people generally think of it when they're able to attract the things into their life that they want. But the thing is, the law is always working, even when we're attracting the things we don't want. And that's what Penny's talking about. The self-sabotage, the messages that we play in our heads and we allow to keep running in our heads that keep bringing more of the things that we don't want. And so this is really about learning to pay attention to what we are focused on, because I think this is more important than ever. It's important individually, yes, for what we're bringing into our lives, but it's also important globally and collectively, because people talk about the condition that the world is in. Well, okay, so what are most people thinking about? We're inundated with all the negativity that's, produced in the media. And so the more we focus on all of that, pay attention. It's not like we're focusing on it and it's going away and it's lessening. It's increasing. So just like that's happening globally, that's happening in our lives. So if we've got it in our lives, you've all heard Michael say this, you've all heard Penny say this, and all the rest of us that teach law of attraction. If it's in our lives, we are vibrating it. We are attracting it. And we're doing that with our feelings. And we can all learn to be more deliberate and bring what we want. So that's what we're talking about. And we want to have fun with it. And I think what's so key about what Penny's saying is she had a rough week last week. I got to have a day like that yesterday. And so, everybody take heart. Because even those of us who are studying this and teaching this all the time, we still have to really be watchful of what our attention is on. And the good news about that is if I've attracted that because my attention's on it, then I can change it. Whereas if it's just happening to me, I'm in big trouble. I'm in big trouble. So really, if you think about it, yes, it does take some effort and definitely remembering to stay on track of this, but I'm the one doing it. And so I can keep track of it. And it's like learning anything, right? When you first got on a bike, I doubt that you got on it and just rode down the street. When you first started, if you roller skated, if you've skied, if you've ice skated, if you drive a car, when we first start doing it, we're not so good at it. But the more we do it, right?
Yep.
The better we get. So Penny, that's it for me right now, but I'm right here, and anyone who would like to contact me, cindybrett.com, and I'd love to hear from you and continue the conversation.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Cindy. I'm just going to give a shout out to Karen Tooley, Elaine Webb, Linda Gagno. She says watching from Australia. Yay, hi. And Angie Morales. Hangout with Michael's in the house. Sherry Richard, author. She's watching. So we have lots of people watching. And it's I think it's a very important show. And just like you were saying, Cindy, about like rough week, rough day. Yeah. I had a rough week, and like I was at a breaking point. Sometimes, as law of attraction trainers, when we're, it's all about being positive. It's all about trying to like keep that vibration high, and it is, and it's really, really important. But we're human, and we go through stuff just like everybody else. We're a little fortunate because we know there's circumstances, there's consequences behind our breakdowns. But when we get to the point where we're saying, I don't want this no more, I don't want this no more, that's the breaking point. Cindy, what's the question we can ask ourselves?
So, Penny Peddie, what do you want?
Yes. That becomes the turning point. That right there becomes the turning point, because we can shift from the negative stuff that's going on. It's like, I don't want this anymore. So what do I want? Well, I want it to be better. I want it to be better. So that is a more positive vibe. And once we make that shift, baby steps. Baby steps is very important. Like Cindy was talking about coaching. It's so important that if this person has 40 pounds that they want to lose and they're looking, or they want to reduce, and they're looking in the mirror and saying how fat they are, well, from how it is right now, it may seem like too big of a stretch for them to fathom that. So let's say, so what do you want? Okay, can you see yourself reducing 5 pounds? That's much easier. So that is a better feeling word. They're better feeling. 5 is way better than 40 when it comes to wanting to reduce weight. And it's all about baby steps. So we need to be gentle on ourselves. And yeah.
The cool thing is, Penny, to your point, is that, you know, once you drop the 5 pounds, you've got evidence that you can drop weight. So anytime your mind says, oh, you're never going to do it, you go, nah, 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 I already did do it. Even if it's a half a pound, even if it's 1 pound, it doesn't matter, because you now can say to that voice that challenges you and says you're never going to do it, I already did it. I already did it. And if I did it, guess what? I can do it again.
That's right.
I can do it again. Right. And even if I don't have proof for myself, I can go online and I can find proof of other people dropping weight. And guess what? If anybody else has ever done it, I can do it. I can do it. And when I start speaking that way, my mind reacts in a very different way than when I'm speaking the I can't do it, this is never going to work, nothing ever turns out for me. Our minds are goal-achieving, or our subconscious, which is what's really running everything, is a goal-achieving mechanism. Whatever information you give it, it'll make you right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right, yeah. That's its job. So you have to change the job that you're giving it, and you want it to go for what you want. So it's not difficult. However, it is the hardest, easiest thing you'll ever do.
It is easy, but it's a process. It's a practice. We have to always. I have to practice. You have to practice. We're all practitioners.
Yes.
We're all practitioners. Just when we learn a little more, then we teach a little more. But you know, we're still learning and we're practicing. We're practicing, and it's all about finding better feeling words, because it's our feeling. It's not about the words. It's how we feel about the words and the feeling, because we can really sabotage ourselves. We think we're saying something positive, but our underlying feeling is like, that'll never happen. So we could say something like, when you're looking for a significant other, it's like, okay, yep, there's the perfect guy out there for me, or there's the perfect woman out there for me. But inside, you're like, no. So then you just start going like this. So you're, huh?
Yeah, the voice is saying it's never going to happen.
Yeah. But so start imagining. Here's another one. Imagine. Just imagine. Imagine if there is someone out there for you. Are you ready for it? Right? We always have to be ready. So maybe that particular person is not coming into your life because you're really not ready for them. So if you can imagine yourself being with that person, what would it feel like? What would you say? Where would you go? What would you want him or her to say to you? And the best time to imagine that is the last thing you do before you go to sleep. So you're drifting off with a high vibration. So now, the law of attraction, you're not getting in your way right now, because you're just drifting off with that, oh, yeah, this could be possible. And now the law of attraction is starting to match up. And before you know it, you will be kissing that person goodnight. Oh, I'm going on a rant now.
Well, here's the thing. You know, how is it that we convince ourselves of anything? It's by repetition.
Yep.
Whatever we think over and over and over and over and over again. And everybody, I challenge everybody, you can prove this to yourself so easily. Start thinking of something really frightening, right? And think about every time you go to a movie. I don't go to scary movies because they scare me so badly.
Yep, me
Why
either.
do they, okay, how do they do that? They do that with the music. They do that with the words. They do that with the images on the screen. Those images, I then create a story along with the story that I'm being told. That's what frightens me. So I can convince myself of anything. And again, everybody, you can prove this to yourself. Just take, I'm not encouraging anybody to stay in fearful stuff. I'm encouraging you to see how effective it is. And then as soon as you get that image and you go, okay, I really see what's going on here, flip it and stay in the positive. If no matter what situation any of us are dealing with, if we will continue to tell the opposite story, okay? So if this is what I don't want, so what do I want? I know it's the opposite of that, okay? So I start thinking about that and telling myself that and repeating that over and over and over again. That's what will shift it. And that's what will bring the change in the weight, bring the relationship, bring whatever it is that you want to draw. You've got to hold your attention. And yes, it can be really tricky. That's the hardest, easiest thing. But you did learn to ride a bike. You did learn to roller skate. You did learn to walk. You did learn to drive a car. And you can learn to do this too.
Yes, and I love that you brought those examples up, because thinking about an infant when we're learning to walk, we didn't fall down and that was it. It's like we got back up again. And then we went from the crawling stage to the walking stage to the running stage, and then it's the like, there's no stopping me now stage. So we can do that in every area of our life. It's like, yeah, you know what, maybe that person's not here right now, or maybe that, you know, I'm not wearing that size clothes right now, or maybe I don't have the bank account right now, or whatever. Just like, you know what? Our self-talk creates our reality. We only have the present moment right now. We live in the present. But you know what the present is? The present is present. 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 How does it get present? By the thoughts we're thinking, by what we're putting out there. So whatever's going on in your present moment right now, if you don't like your reality, then go beyond the reality right now. Go to be unrealistic and imagine. Go to those better feeling thoughts. Do what Cindy was just saying. And presend. So your next present moment will be better. I just want to acknowledge Romy Carlin. She's out in the chat area, and she's said that she missed me last week, so that makes me feel good. But also, do you recognize the name Presentation Power? Jeffrey X. Lane, he's complimenting the two lovely ladies that are on the show tonight. So thank you, Jeffrey.
Hey, Jeffrey. Hey, Romy.
Okay. So how important is it with our self-talk? Can we sabotage the results in our life, Cindy, by the way we talk to ourselves?
Totally, absolutely, yes, yes, yes.
So what are the two most important words that we can start to use? The I ams. I had to print this out because I just love this. So if you think I'm not worthy of that, the law of attraction is going to match it up, and you're going to get feeling more of that unworthiness, or more of that undeserving, or I am fat. No matter what diet you go on, no matter what exercise program you go on, if you're going to continue to tell yourself you're fat, you will be fat. Simple as that, until you make the shift. And it's like, oh, So I am slimmer. I am slimmer. Because you are. You want to compare yourself to, I don't know, maybe you're 150 pounds and you want to weigh 110 pounds and you're calling yourself fat. Well, you would be slimmer compared to maybe 700 pounds. Like, I'm just giving examples here, but there's always better feeling thoughts that we can use. Right, Cindy?
Absolutely. And it's all relative. It's just what you're
Yes.
saying. You know, we can always find evidence that we can move in the direction of our dreams. And so that's the thing we want to do, because we're reconvincing what we have programmed into our subconscious mind. We're saying, hey, enough of that story. But whatever story we give it, it will make sure we're right. It will make sure we're right.
Absolutely. And we can rewrite that story anytime, and I love this. So we have our words. Oops, we have our words. So the things that we say to ourselves, even under our breath, no one can hear it, and we're just saying, oh, that can never happen to me. Well, do you want it to happen to you? Do you want to? So what do I want? Do you want it? Well, yeah, I do. All right, then. So, you know what? There's a possibility that it could happen to me. There's a possibility. That's a better feeling thought. Mm-hmm. So our feelings then are going to send out a higher vibe. It's all about vibration, right? It's about reducing the negative self-talk and giving ourselves more positive things to think about, because those thoughts become feelings. And it's our feelings that create a reality. If you don't like the reality in your right now, then go to your unrealistic thought life and imagine that, how you want it to be. And before you know it, your I am statements are, I am powerful, I am rich, I am wealthy, I am sexy, I am beautiful, I am slim, I am whatever. Whatever follows I am will come looking for you. Oh boy, I'm on a rampage now. Cindy, yeah, we're almost out of time here, so do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Well, I say, you know, if you've got to doubt something, doubt your doubts.
Ooh.
Doubt your doubts. Everything, no matter which way you look at it, you can prove it to be true. And if you're going to doubt, the doubts are just as important to look at and say, wait a minute, is this what I want in my life? Is this what I choose? How about I am unstoppable?
I'm on fire. I'm on, yeah.
Think about it, because when you're stuck in a groove of whatever you don't want, you're unstoppable. You're doing it. You keep doing it over and over again. So if you turn it around, I am unstoppable toward what I want. But like Penny says, you got to know what that is. So what do I want? You clarify that and let that become the story that is repeating over and over and over for you.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like for me last week when I was having that, I was at my breaking point. It's like, I want something better. I couldn't go beyond that to see what it was, but I was going beyond. It's like, there's got to be something better right now than what's going on right now. So it's like, okay, you got to get me something better than what's happening right now. And yeah, it does. It just all lines up. And another important thing is when we're wanting something else in our life other than what's going on, if we're wanting something better, we have to remember there's a gestation period for everything. And it's called be prepared. So if you want that significant other, are you ready? You want to win the lottery? Many people, that's one of their biggest dreams, is winning the lottery. Are you ready? Do you know what bank you're going to deal with? Do you know where you're going? Do you know what you're going to do? Are you ready and prepared to receive that great amount of money? You got to be ready, and you got to be able to see yourself in it, with it. So many people want to win the lottery and they wouldn't have a clue what to do with it, so they don't have that vibration of being able to, hey, speaking of that, look at this. I'm a winner. I get winning tickets all the time. There's $40, and, and I keep them with me to say, hey, I'm a winner.
You are a winner, Penny.
All right, before I come back for your final words, I just want to acknowledge all the people that's watching. There's lots of people watching tonight. Thank you very much. Karen Dooley, she says, I love that. The present is pre-sent, and it is. Every moment right now, we're pre-sending to the present moment that we're going to be in, like right now. That was a roundabout way to say that. So I love that. So our self-talk creates our reality. So if you don't like what you're in right now, think about what you've been saying to yourself, because it can be changed around. So next week, episode 29. Oh, by the way, last week we were supposed to have my dear friend Jeffrey X. Blaine here. We were going to talk about the he said, she said. However, I had to stand him up. So we will get together again and promise that we're going to have a good show on that. And so next week, episode 29. Money is such a hot topic. I was talking about the lottery, and so next week it's going to be all about money with my special co-host, Jackie McLean. She's a clinical hypnotherapist, and she can change people's mindset about money, and they can start attracting more of it into their lives, and it's an easy process. So she's going to talk about that with us next week. And just a reminder, my Google community, so go on over there, join up, and we're going to start doing quite a bit of things in there, because I'm just appreciating you all so much, and it touches my heart when I get comments and people saying they miss me, and because, you know, I really love what I'm doing right now. I really love it. And I love all the support, and I love all you. And if I can do one thing to help one person, then it's like, this was fun. Cindy, come out for your final words.
I'm just glad to be here with you, Penny. It's so fun, and I know how much you live what you're talking about. And I respect and admire you, and I'm glad that you've got the following. You deserve that. And I just want to say goodbye to everybody. And again, if anybody wants to continue the conversation with me, CindyBrett.com, Cindy@CindyBrett.com is the way to email me. And I love you all too. Keep your eyes on what you want. Keep your words and your thoughts on what you want. You can have it.
Absolutely. Cindy, well, I'm thinking of it. Are you going to be doing a Hangout show soon?
Well, my own?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Very soon. You and I are going to do the first one. We're talking about that.
Okay,
we're going to be talking about all things kindness, and starting with being kind to ourselves. How can we be kinder and kinder and kinder to ourselves? Because when we are kind to ourselves, we feel happy, and when we feel happy, that's really what we're talking about, that high vibration. When we feel happy, we attract the things that we want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happiness attracts happiness. Kindness attracts kindness. Love attracts love. Good friendship attracts good friendship.
Yes, it does. I love you, Penny.
Hangout attract good Hangout viewers. And I don't know what I'm saying now, but I just want to appreciate. I am so happy that you're here, because it was such a surprise. It really was a surprise. The present, hey, there it was. Present led to the present, and it's so much fun. So thank you for watching the Hangout with Penny Show, episode 28. We will see you next week, episode 29, 8 p.m. Eastern. And, yeah, so remember, it's all about what you're thinking. Make it good. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.